At this point, we need to select the pattern that we want in our cutting board. You can be as random as you like, or you can be symmetrical. For example, if you were going to be symmetrical, you could decide to have African mahogany on the outsides, walnut, purple heart, and then maple. I am choosing to have a walnut piece on the outside and an African mahogany piece on the outside over here on this other edge, and sort of offset my maple to the middle. You could have your maple on the outside. So any pattern you choose, that's fine. All of the boards should be modular in fashion, so that means that they can be put anywhere. You'll notice that there is a alignment dowel hole on each side of each of the boards, and that should allow you to place these boards in any order. So once I have chosen the order of my boards, I'm going to lay them here, and then I'm going to add some layout marks to assist me with my glue up. And you'll notice that as I turn this board up, it has an A with an arrow, and that arrow is pointing to the top surface. So again, I've labeled this one A with an arrow pointed up, and that A should be matched A with A, and the arrows are pointed the same direction. Now they obviously look opposite because I've opened it up like a book, but whenever I put those two together, the arrows are pointed both upward, and this piece of African mahogany is now B, and therefore this piece of walnut is B, maybe upside down to you, and C, and so forth. Now to glue this up, I'm simply going to turn these boards on end by simply rolling the boards 90 degrees from where they are, keeping my layout the same. And you'll notice that all of the arrows are all pointing the same direction. So now what I want to do is slide all of these out of the way, and I'm going to put down some wax paper on my table. And get my glue application brush, my Titebond 3 wood glue. And now I'm going to bring these back in the order in which I had them previously. I'm going to take my alignment pins. I'm going to remove the oak accent pins. And these 4 oak accent pins will actually fill the dowel holes on the outer 2 boards. So I'm going to set those aside. Have a little bowl there that they go in. And now I will begin my glue up. I'm going to put a bead of glue on my board. Then I'm going to spread that glue with my brush. I'm going to spread the glue down in the dowel hole. And you want to make sure to get the entire surface of this wood covered with glue. If you get too much glue, that's okay. It'll squeeze out and you'll have to clean it up. Over time, the more woodworking you do and the more gluing you do, the better you'll get at getting the right amount. No matter though, I still don't always get the right amount of glue. I'm not too worried about putting glue on these pins. I've got glue down in the hole. Also, these pins are not necessarily structural. They're just helping me line up the boards as I glue them up. I'll go on to the next piece. So I'm going to start off just a slight amount of pressure on my clamp. Now, one of the things that'll happen is whenever you put pressure on your clamp, you can actually bow your glue up. In other words, clamping from end to end here, we can actually put pressure, too much pressure, and make this, the middle of the board go down toward the table and the edges of the board come up toward the camera. So we want to make sure that we don't do that. So I'm going to apply a little bit of pressure, and I have pulled this end up. That's not good. So what I want to do now is I'm going to lift my cutting board, and I'm going to put this clamp underneath so that I'm applying pressure in a different direction. Now I'm going to lift this end up also, and I'm going to try to roll this clamp a little bit so that it's more in line with the clamping surfaces. This pad is more in line with the center of my cutting board. And apply pressure, and you'll have some glue squeeze out, which is what we're looking for. I'm going to readjust this clamp over here, again trying to get it in the center where the pressure is in line with the center of my cutting board. And now we've clamped our board up. We're going to wipe off the excess glue with our damp rag, and we're going to let this sit for over an hour and let the glue cure.